second scene with the secret agent. I really don't know if it's anything important the second he shows up. If you look in the opposite direction, at the secret bunker's door, you can see the password or the entrance mechanism actually flash for a second, which looks like it actually has been tampered with. Maybe the secret agent actually tampered with this device to allow the Alliance to easily enter, because both these happen at the same time, and unless it's a rendering mistake, it actually would make sense. And it's such a small detail that if it's actually real, I would be really surprised that I noticed it. Also, if it's true, we now know that the secret agent is clearly planning something about, and I think we'll get to see it more on the next part. Seconds later, we see the police toilet trying to sneak up to the large cameraman, but he gets shot with rockets, and if you freeze the frame right before, you can see that the rockets that were shot at him before broke his armor and removed one of his weapons. But these don't matter because he literally gets obliterated after getting shot. As I said before, don't be like this police toilet. After the police toilet gets killed, we get a zoom in on the large cameraman who shot him, and we can see that he still has the metal spear on his chest. And even though everything, this Sigma cameraman gives us a thumbs up. Actual Giga Chad behavior, like the video to show your respects to this Chad, like being, I wish you could have survived what's about to come. But before we continue, we also get to see the bunker a lot more clearly thanks to this zoom in. And the weird thing on the left is 100% some type of mechanism that opens and closes the bunker door, and it probably has some security measures that the secret agent might have disabled. It also says lockdown on the bunker door, but that might just be something that came with the asset. But there is something else that piqued my interest, and it's the logo on top of it. If you look really carefully, you can see a DNA logo on top of the lockdown text. And remember what I said about this place being a toilet laboratory. To me, this was the first giveaway, and it might actually be true because we get to see some insane stuff literally a second later in the video. Suddenly we see the black teleportation smoke, and a mechanic hand with toxic capabilities come out of it and shoot acid onto the Chad cameraman, literally metaling him, and once it hits the rocket launcher, he explodes. Thanks for your service, large cameraman. We'll never forget you. I know that plot armor doesn't work on regular troops, but I wish he survived. Anyways, right after the POV cameraman shoots his rockets inside the black smoke, but it doesn't look like it worked at all because this crazy toilet comes out of the black smoke as if nothing happened. This new upgraded toilet looks like Mafia toilet from episode 28 because of the hat, but we don't know if they are the same. But one thing is for sure, this toilet has been upgraded to the brim and he has no chill. He has the Strider legs, he has his jetpacks, and he has the classic buzzsaw that most toilets have. But the main thing is, he has a hand cannon which shoots acid. And if you guys are actively watching the series, you would know that acid is getting more and more popular among toilets. And it seems like the Alliance will need to take more defensive measures against it because for now, only the Titan cameraman could defend himself against his with his shield, but now he won't be able to as well, because if you rewatch episode 64, you'll see that his plasma shield was definitely attached to his right arm, which doesn't exist anymore. And right when the Mafia toilet was about to shoot the acid onto the POV cameraman, something literally throws a toilet at him, leaving him shocked, and we see that it's the Titan duo arriving at the scene, showing us that they aren't dead, and the Imagine on episode 66 was totally fake. We first see the Titan speakerman on top of a plane toilet trying to kill him, and Titan cameraman walking very heavily without his right arm in place, and he seems very angry because even though he is at a disadvantage because of his arm, when the quadruple buzzsaw toilet arrives at the scene, he literally takes one of the buzzsaws and simply sticks it to his arm and starts using it as his new arm. Bro literally stole an arm from a toilet. You know it's about to go down when Titan cameraman is this mad, and this is just the beginning. After getting his new hand, he simply demolishes the quadruple saw toilet, but right after the Mafia toilet sneak attacks him from the behind. Even though he was already damaged and we could see electricity coming out from his shoulders and core before, he takes on this damage pretty well and literally slaps the shit out of the Mafia toilet with the slap sound effect, which reminded me of what happened in episode 28. And we also see Titan Speakerman slap the Mafia with full might seconds later, which was so goofy. But before that, right after Titan cameraman slaps the Mafia toilet, Titan speakerman shoots the acid hand of the Mafia toilet, causing it to explode the acid on his own face. And we can clearly see that his skin is burned down. But that's not the important thing, because you do know that acid literally melts the Alliance troops. But if you look carefully, Nothing really happened to Mafia Toilet's tools, and they are all fine even though the acid touched them. This means that the toilets have a material that is protective against the acid. And I think after the Alliance invades the Skibidi Toilets bunker, they'll probably steal the recipe for this material as well. And you already know that the Mafia Toilet gets slapped by Titan Speakerman right after this scene. Titan Speakerman doesn't even look back after slapping him and just carries on, but the way the Titan duo looks at each other, it's giving me some sus vibes thanks to the troll leaks. God damn the way they look at each other. I wish TV Woman looked at me like that. Right after this scene, we see a huge black smoke, and you could have guessed who was about to come even before seeing the reveal. The POV cameraman gets back a little with his jetpack, and we see the arrival of the scientist toilet. But there is something clearly different about him because if you look at his right eye, it's now red, and there is a black scratch on it which makes him look demonic. We still don't know when the red eyes come and go for other toilets and what they exactly mean, but one thing we know is, whenever there is a toilet with red eyes, they usually act a little more crazy, and Scientist Toilet's laugh in this episode was a lot more terrifying compared to his normal laugh. Right after the camera pans to the right, and I didn't realize this before, but if you look carefully at Titan Speakerman, he has stuff that stabbed him on his chest, arm, and leg. It's a lot more clear in the scene before where the Titans look at each other. But it's crazy that Titan Speakerman can still fight without getting any treatments. This also means that after what happened in episode 65, they didn't stop by to get any help or treatment, and simply just rushed to the fight because they know that the Alliance needed them. Their sacrifices will never be forgotten, and I feel like one of the Titans might actually die in the next part because the scientist toilet doesn't look like he'll have any mercy. And at the end of the episode, we see the Titan cameraman saying, "You are dead," to scientist toilet and start spinning his buzzsaw. This episode was actually crazy, and hopefully the next part is even more crazier. I really can't wait for the return of Titan TV Man. If you enjoyed the video, go subscribe, Elite